Consistency isn't hard because you lack discipline. It feels hard because it was built wrong. Most people don't quit because they stop caring. They quit because the plan becomes too heavy to carry through normal life. If consistency has always felt like something you eventually lose, this video explains why that happens and how to fix it without relying on willpower. Most advice says you just need to try harder, be more disciplined, be more motivated, stay focused. But if motivation worked, you wouldn't be restarting again and again. Effort isn't the problem. The problem is how consistency is designed from the very beginning. Consistency is not doing everything perfectly. It's doing something repeatedly even when conditions aren't ideal, even when you're tired, even when time is short, even when motivation is gone. If a habit only works on your best days, it was never designed to last. Many plans are built for ideal conditions. Full energy, full focus, full control, but most days don't look like that. Real life includes stress, interruptions, low energy, and limited time. Any system that only works when life is calm will eventually break. Think about the last plan you tried to follow. It probably looked good on paper. Clear rules, clear structure, clear goals. But then real life happened. Work ran late, sleep suffered, stress increased, and the plan became harder to maintain than it was to start. When a plan becomes hard to maintain, people usually blame themselves. They assume they failed. But in most cases, the system required more energy than could be provided consistently. That's not a personal flaw. That's a design issue. The brain is efficient. It looks for ways to conserve energy. When habits require constant effort, constant restraint, and constant decisions, the brain resists. This resistance isn't weakness. It's biology responding to overload. Most weight loss plans create friction everywhere. What to eat, how much to eat, when to eat, what to avoid, how often to train. That creates dozens, sometimes hundreds of decisions every day. Over time, decision fatigue builds quietly. Decision fatigue doesn't feel dramatic. It feels like mental heaviness, like resistance, like putting things off. And eventually, consistency breaks. Not because motivation disappeared, but because mental energy ran out. Willpower can push through friction for short periods. But willpower fades when stress increases, sleep decreases, or life becomes busy. That isn't a character flaw. It's how the nervous system protects itself from overload. Any system that depends on constant self-control eventually collapses. Not all at once, but slowly. Missed days turn into skipped weeks. Progress stalls. And people assume the problem is discipline, not design. If consistency has always felt hard, that doesn't mean you're bad at weight loss. It means the system required more energy than you could sustainably give. Systems can be adjusted. Habits can be simplified. Friction can be reduced. Consistency improves when friction is reduced, not when effort increases. Habits that feel simple, repeatable, and familiar require less energy, and habits that require less energy last longer. This is how consistency becomes stable. This is why certain habits stick easily. Brushing your teeth doesn't require motivation. It doesn't require planning. It doesn't require decision-making. It happens automatically because the friction is low. Weight loss habits fail because they stay effort-based. They never reach the point where they feel automatic. Each action still feels like a decision. Over time, that decision-making creates resistance, even when the habit itself isn't difficult. When habits remain effort-based, consistency depends on how much energy you have that day. On high-energy days, things go well. On low-energy days, habits disappear. This creates an inconsistent cycle that feels unpredictable and frustrating. Consistency becomes easier when habits are designed to work on low-energy days. That means choosing actions that still feel manageable when you're tired, busy, or distracted. Habits don't need to be impressive. They need to be repeatable. Instead of asking how much you can handle when motivation is high, it's more useful to ask what you can repeat when motivation is low. Habits that survive low motivation are the ones that last long-term. Small habits often feel insignificant, but their value comes from reducing resistance. When resistance is low, habits don't require negotiation. You don't have to convince yourself. You simply follow through. When follow-through becomes automatic, consistency stabilizes. Progress becomes quieter and less emotional. There is less pressure to be perfect and fewer swings between motivation and burnout. This is also why scale anxiety tends to fade when habits feel stable. Daily fluctuations matter less when the process feels livable. Confidence comes from consistency, not from short-term results. Sustainable fat loss is intentionally simple. It avoids extremes. It avoids constant resets. It avoids all or nothing thinking. Instead, it focuses on habits that repeat easily week after week. Progress doesn't come from doing everything at once. It comes from doing a few things consistently. Over time, those small actions compound into visible results without creating burnout. Choose one habit to focus on today. Something small enough that it feels manageable even on difficult days. Commit to it for 1 week. Then, once it feels stable, add another. Consistency isn't built through intensity, it's built through design. When habits fit into real life, they last. And when habits last, progress follows naturally. You don't need more willpower. You need systems that work with your energy instead of against it. If you want simple, realistic fat loss advice without extremes, subscribe for more.